Good afternoon. It looks like I'm back in the kitchen again today. I'm going to make a nice hearty easy meal today. What I have on the stove here, I don't know if you ever had corn grits. It's called polenta, and Bob's Red Mill makes this product. So instead of the bleach grits that we buy before they bleach them, this is a yellow grit, and it has a yellow look to it. And polenta, I don't know if you ever tried it before, but see, it's like a yellow grit. It's not white. It's like a hominy grit. And you cook this like you do a grit. It depends on how you want to cook it. So what we're going to have today is the polenta. We're going to have, I'm going to saute some shrimp to put on top, and you make it like a one meal. Now on the stove, I already started the polenta because it takes a little while to cook. And I'm only making enough so I can, just have enough for tonight, because I'm not going to eat a lot of this, okay? But I do enjoy this meal when I do make it. So it's the polenta, it's the yellow grit, and I've already deveined the shrimp. The best way to devein the shrimp is to take the shrimp, hold it this way, just take one of the skewers and just run it behind the back and pull it out, and it'll bring the vein out of the shrimp, and it saves you a lot of time. So that's how I devein them, and I've already taken care of that because I don't like the veins in shrimp. They have to be deveined because I'm not, if you look that up, you don't really want to eat that. So I'll always remove that from the vein of the back of the shrimp. So I have those ready. Now, you can hear the polenta in the pot. I've already started it. It's starting to cook. And what you do with this is that you I use chicken broth because I wanted to have the chicken broth taste. Oh, it smells so good. And you add the broth and you add the polenta before you turn the light on. That way it avoids you from having any lumps. So see this yellow grain? This is a yellow grit. This is before they bleach the grits and make them white. And that's what's in this pot cooking right now. And the reason why I put this on ahead of time, so I used 1.5 cup of chicken broth, and I used 1/4 cup of the polenta. And you have to keep mixing it in between, and you have to keep adding the broth so that it thickens up so that it can stay thin. So I'm going to put this back over here and let this finish doing that. And as a matter of fact, right now I do need to add a little more broth because it has thickened since I put it on. So I'm going to add some more chicken broth into the corn grits polenta. And there's so many ways you can cook the polenta, and it's really good for you. It's a better, healthier version of the white grits. And if you don't try different things, you're not going to know how it tastes. So I have this sauteing. I just added some more broth, chicken broth, to the polenta because I don't want it to thicken up too quickly. And then you have to have like a vegetable or something with it. So you have your shrimp. You're going to have that. You're also going to have to make like a vegetable. So I'm going to put a little water on for some broccoli, just so I can have something green in my dish. So I'm going to put some water in here. I'm not going to use chicken broth for this tonight because it's going in the polenta, and I don't want it, I don't want to taste that in everything. So I'm going to put some water in here, and I'm going to sit this on the back burner. And I'm going to start letting that boil. And once that water boils, I'm going to add me some broccoli into that pot. Now, meanwhile, the polenta is still cooking on the front burner. I'm mixing it occasionally because you don't want it to lump up. And like I said, it's a yellow grit. It's not your white grit, so it's better for you. I'm going to pour a little bit in the bowl because I really want you to see what this looks like. And you can cook it so many different ways. Polenta. You can make big chunks and cook it. You can make it like a cornbread. And you can put like a red sauce over it and make it a dish like that. So this is what the grains look like. It's a yellow, gritty grain. And it's before they take all of the bleach and they bleach it. This is what it looks like before they bleach it. And this is the better grain. It's more wholesome. See, they're even bigger pieces. So this is the polenta. It's yellow, and that's the way it's going to look when you buy it. So it's boiling. I'm going to turn the light back a little bit because I want it to simmer here and have a chance to cook up. I'm going to add a little more chicken broth because, like I said, its consistency gets thick and you have to keep thinning it out. Now, if you don't want to use the chicken broth in the polenta, you can always opt out to use water. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to, what you choose to do. I'm going to have the strawberry banana drink tonight instead of the fuzzy stuff. I'm going to sip on this tonight. And of course I have it in my beautiful glass. And it tastes very, very good. And it's very, very cold. So far we have the polenta cooking on the front burner. I'm constantly mixing it. I showed you what the grains look like. It's a yellow corn. It's more wholesome. And it takes longer than regular grits to cook because it's not the processed part of it. It's before they, you know, they make the grits white. They bleach it. They take this and actually bleach it, and it turns into a white grit. So you want it before it gets to that. So it's called polenta. It's also called corn grits. And you can buy it at your Acme, your ShopRite, Bob's, Red Mill. That's the brand I use. Okay, so remember that. And we're going to have a little discussion. I'm trying to make it a discussion in a cooking session. So I'm going to get a light also underneath the pan so I can start sauteing the shrimp that's going to go on top of the polenta. And this is the beautiful serving bowl I'm going to have it in tonight. The polenta goes on the bottom, the shrimps go on top, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so over here I'm going to get the pan ready for the shrimp. I'm going to put a light under here. And instead of using olive oil tonight, I'm going to use Smart Balance because I want a different taste. You know, you put butter on grits. You don't put olive oil on grits. You could, but this will be better tasting. So I'm going to put a couple little spoons of this in this pan to get the shrimp started. And there's a lot of different seasonings that I'm going to add to the shrimp because you want the shrimp on top, and you take a shrimp, you go into the polenta, you take a bite of that with the shrimp, and you are smoking, baby. Okay, so these been rinsed, they've been deveined, and like I said, if you want an easy devein, get yourself some skewers, keep them in your kitchen drawer. They come in handy for so many things. Even if you can't reach your utensil right away and you're trying to make something, you can take this in. It won't scratch your non-scratch surfaces. So it's just good to have them. So I have a dozen shrimp here, it's 12 here. And I have the Smart Balance. It's getting ready on this side of the stove. The Smart Balance is heating up. Let me see if I can bring it in a little closer. And this is the pan I'm going to be sauteing the shrimps in tonight. So you can hear a little sizzle. Now I said I wasn't going to use the olive oil, but I am going to add a couple little drops into this pan with this. Okay, 1, 2. Water's about boiled for my broccoli to go in, so let me grab that real quick because I want to have a little session. We're going to talk about managing change. What I've been doing is posting a little list on my microwave every morning. This is just for me, you know, for me to get my day started. So I'm going to share that with you today of what I posted earlier today for getting my day started. So we got that sizzle, and you can hear the sizzle. I'm getting the broccoli out. And I have Pick Sweet Farms broccoli florets. I'm going to put this in some in the boiling water, and I'm basically not going to add too much to that, only because I'm not going to add a lot to this because I want the broccoli. I don't want it nothing but maybe some Smart Balance over the top. So I'll cut this bag open. This is going into the boiling water. That's the broccoli. So the broccoli's now starting to get ready to go along with the meal. In the process, I had to go back and mix my polenta because it had thickened up again. And let me show you the texture of it now because the texture is starting to look like a grit. It's a yellow grit. It's thick. When you taste it, the grains are a lot bigger. And it has a different texture than the white grit. So it smells fantastic. If you don't want to use the chicken broth, like I said, you can just use water. But add the water in first. A cup and a half of water, 1/4 cup of the polenta, and mix it in before you turn the heat on. And mix it in real good so you don't have lumps in it, because it will lump up if you're not careful. So in this pan, we're going to put our shrimp. Like I said, I have a dozen of them here. You can hear them sizzling. And you know it don't take long for shrimp to cook. And I might put like 6 or 7 of these on top of the polenta when it's done. I'm going to put a lid on the broccoli so that can start to really boil like I need it to. So into the shrimp, here we go. We're going to add a little chili powder. Just a little. Going to give it color because you want that Cajun look on the top. We're going to add a little paprika. That's for spice. And that on top a little, because you want that Cajun red look. So that's what I'm giving this plate. This is what I'm giving this plate tonight. We're going to add a little bit of basil and tomato. You put this in your hand. You crush it up a little bit. You use it very little because it's very potent. And you just sprinkle it over the top like this. You don't want to put too much of any of this. I have this little spicy mustard. I'm going to run a little water in it because I'm getting low on it. I have to pick some more of this up at my Christmas tree store. Yeah, this is called getting it all out the bottle. It ain't going to hurt nothing. So I'm going to give it a couple squirts. This is like a spicy hot mustard. Over the top of the shrimp. And then that's it. Now when you plate up your plate, you're going to put the basil on top to give it that green look on the top when you're done the actual pan of food. So far we're pretty good into it. I'm putting a little bit of lemonade juice into the shrimp. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to just mix these back and forth so we can all come together. They smell fantastic. And you know, like I said, it doesn't take long for shrimp to cook. So once they turn pink, you turn them off or they'll be tough. And they're not going to hold your taste. Boy, you can smell this up in here. This is what they're looking like. See, you have that Cajun look to them, that red look. That's what I'm looking for in these. I'm going to turn the light up. You can smell the mustard. I'm going to turn the light up behind here for the broccoli so that can cook. And all I'm going to put in my broccoli is a little smart balance. I'm going to turn the shrimp down, just let them saute for a little bit. I'm going to mix the polenta again. I'm rinsing off this little spatula that I use and put this here. I'm going to make sure this doesn't need any more. There needs some more liquid. That's the thing about this. You have to keep it liquid. You have to keep going back adding liquid. So I'm adding more liquid into it. Or chicken broth. I just think it tastes so good with the chicken broth versus the water. But it's to your discretion. You know, you may not like the chicken broth like I like it and everything. A lot of people use water. They don't use a chicken stock. But I use it because it just gives it more flavor. The broccoli is boiling on the back. So while we got that going on, I can take another sip here. It's so good. This is my fruit and vegetables that I didn't get earlier today. I stopped a while and had a croissant with eggs and turkey bacon. No, turkey sausage. And then I had like a latte. And that helped me over because I had a lot of little running around to do this morning. So this is like what I post on my little microwave. And it's basically to me in the morning. So I'm just going to share that with you. And it's talking about managing change. And it's a managing change list. Because we have to be able to manage change because we are constantly living in a world of change. Things are changing around us consistently. When we went to bed last night, by the time we got up this morning, something else had changed. So we have to be able to adjust to change, because change is a part of life, and we're all going to deal with changes, whether we accept them or not. And I think I did a song, a little short something in my videos about, you know, change. If you want to hear it, you got to go through my list, and it'll have the little song that I did about change. So managing change. So we're going to go with the letter A. The letter A, awareness of the need for change. We have to understand, and we have to have an understanding and awareness for the need of change. We don't like change. We'd rather just be comfortable and not have to deal with change too much, because change takes us out of our comfort zone. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit more. I'm going to mix this a little. The broccoli is really doing its thing. Let me hold this. So we have to be awareness. We have to have an awareness of the need of change. That's the letter A. Write it down. Might come in handy. Man, I think my shrimp is done, because I don't want them to overcook. They're done. They smell fabulous. This is all I wanted from them. And this goes on top of the polenta. You put the cheese down, then you lay these shrimp on top. And like I said, you go to the bottom of the bowl and you get some of the polenta, and you get some of the shrimp and some of the cheese, and you're talking about something so good. It can be for breakfast, it can be for brunch, it can be for lunch, it can be for dinner. So I'm going to have it for dinner today. I haven't had it for a while. I said, I'm going to make me some polenta, excuse me, some polenta, and I'm going to also make me some shrimp, and I'm going to do me some broccoli as a vegetable. So awareness of the need of change is A. D is desire to participate and support the change. K, knowledge on how to change. We need knowledge on how to change. We can't just shift into different things if we don't have the knowledge of what it takes to shift into these different areas of where we're trying to get. So in order to shift into change, we have to have knowledge. And knowledge, if you really want some knowledge, you go to God and say, Lord, give me knowledge how to get this thing done. He will honor that, and he will give you what you need to get it done. A, ability to implement required skills and behaviors. You have to have skills, and you have to have disciplined behaviors if you want to accomplish your goals and manage your checklist for change. Change is happening, whether we're ready for it or whether we're not. And the last letter is R, reinforcement to sustain change. You want to be able to sustain change. That's very important as well. So A, awareness of the need of change. That's the first thing we need to do. D, desire to participate and support the change. And then A, ability to implement required skills and behaviors. And R, reinforce to sustain change. So I post these things on my little microwave in the morning, and I'll have something fresh up for tomorrow. And this is what I come in and motivate my day for what I need to do for the day. So the polenta is still cooking. It looks like we're pretty good done here with it. It looks like it's doing what it needs to do. I'm going to turn my light up a little bit higher. I'm going to add some more broth. The shrimp are done. All we're waiting for the polenta to do is to finish cooking, and then we plate it up. And remember, the polenta is a yellow corn grit, and it's before they process it and make it white grit. So yeah, I'm back in here in the kitchen again. It looks like I'm being able to add in, you know, the little Debra's quiet corner with a little cooking session. Now I'm going to get back into my other little area where I'm just doing some teaching and some reflections and just sharing some thoughts. I will get back into that mode. But I've just been in the kitchen here lately because I had missed being in here. So I'm in here now, and the broccoli is boiling over there. And like I said, we got the shrimp already done. That goes on top. And I'm telling you, you want a hearty meal. You make you some polenta and put some shrimps on it. It's a southern meal. I really think it's a southern meal. I don't think a lot of people up this way know about polenta because we're so used to the white grit, which is our common grit that we use. most commonly, and I do have some of that. I don't know exactly where that box is. I don't think I got rid of it. But anyway, I can't find that right now. So we have to be able to manage change. We have to have the skills and the behaviors for change. We don't like to be changed. We don't like to be rooted out of our comfort zone. We like being where we are, and we don't want nobody really coming too far into that area trying to disturb that, because change makes us have to move forward. It's going to change our normal, what we used to. It's going to change how we view things and how we look at things. So change is a very intimate part of our life cycle. Where I was 30 years ago, my husband and I, we are in completely different places now. Where my children were when they were teenagers, change happened. They developed into adults. So they had to transition into that life of being adults, young adults, getting through high school, going to college, and finishing their education and deciding what they want to do with their lives. Is all a part of the cycle. And most of us don't want change. When my husband took sick 2 years ago, and I had to sell my house and move. We had just paid it off that October. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months later, we had to sell. So that took a lot of an adjustment for me. I had to basically kind of like, get things packed and get everything ready for the move, because he wasn't able to do it. My son Joshua, don't forget Joshua Worlds, he also has a YouTube channel. He's also on Netflix. He did a movie series called Chase Street. You can go over and check him out on there. You can check out some of his videos. All of the choreographic stuff is done by him. Anything you see in the scenes is done by him. He choreographed everything and put everything together, and very talented. So he helped me to get the house set up, for the buyer. We had one buyer come in. The first person that came into our home bought the property. We sold it to the first person that came through. So that was a blessing. Now the rest of it was a lot of different changes, getting prepared for the move, getting the boxes together, and getting everything that we needed to have ready so that we could, we could move. I hadn't even found a place where I was going to move into yet. I had looked at a couple places. This place where I'm at now, my condominium, I was trying to not come here. It had everything I asked for. A modern kitchen, I asked for a washer, dryer. I have a patio in the back. I have 2 bedrooms. But I had my mind set on something else, because the way that the change was coming, I wanted to be able to kind of like have some say-so about it. And God let me know the first place I showed you, that's what you need right now for your husband's care and for you to be content and satisfied. Okay, so the polenta's almost done. That's why I started it a little early before the video. I want to show you the done product. And you want to make sure it's done, because it's like a grit. And if it's not, you want to taste it. And I was out today, I saw this little cute knife set. I said, let me buy this since I'm back in the kitchen doing a little cooking and stuff. It's a pink one here. It's a 3.5. And one is a paring knife. I guess that's this one. And then you have your utility knife. And then you have your chef knife. So I thought these were so cute. I'm going to add these to my arsenal of things that I used to cook with. That's going to go into my arsenal when I get a chance to open it up. And then on top of the polenta, once it's done and you plate it up, I'm going to put this 100% vegan cheese on top, because I try to stay away from the processed cheese. I like cheese, but I don't want the processed stuff. So I go with this. It's still cheese, but it's not as processed as sliced cheese or the block cheeses that you buy. This is less processed. Smelling good in here. So I'm going to give this 2 more minutes, and this is going to be ready to be plated up. Okay, I'm going to add just one more little bit of chicken broth, and voila. Because this has been cooking about 15 minutes at the most. And you have to let this cook longer than you do regular grits, or it's going to taste, you're going to taste the grittiness of it. So that's done. I think my broccoli's just about done. And I'm going to take a clean skewer. I told you keep these, they handy. And I'm going to test it. So let's get ready for change. Because guess what? I'm going to drain the water off of that. Add my smart balance to that. Whether we want change or not, change is going to happen in our lives. And, some stuff we can control, and some stuff we just ain't going to have no control over. So you either get with the program, or you're going to be miserable trying to fight the change that's coming, because it's coming. And like I said, I did a video, a little music video, some fun stuff on change. And if you want to hear the song, you can go and, you know, go through my little profile thing on YouTube and listen to the song. The change is happening. I don't care what. Even before, when you went to bed last night, change started happening. So the smart balance is going on top of the broccoli. But that's all I want. I don't want it, no seasonings, no chicken broth. And this is going to melt. And that's how I'm going to eat it. So I'm with the broccoli and the broth with the smart balance. That's that. Okay, so we're going to get ready to heat up our meal. And I'm going to get off of here. Alright, so I'm going to turn that off. Here's our bowl. Gotta move this one. So the polenta's done. So I'm going to take it. And it looks like a grit. Let me rinse this off. It looks like a grit when it's done. And I hope I didn't make too much of this for myself. Alright, it's going into the bowl. I cooked it with chicken broth. Oh no, I didn't make too much. I made just enough. So this is in the bowl. Let's sit that there. So these pans, you can't put them right into the water. So now that this is in the bowl, the polenta's in the bowl, I'm going to put the shrimp on top. I'm only going to do 6 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have that cake. I might do 7, maybe 8. I might come back and get the rest of them. Okay, so I now have that looking like this. Look at that. That looks so good. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of basil. Just, overdid the basil, but it's okay. I'm going to take the spoon. I've opened up the wrong side. I'm going to just take some of this and dish it out. Hey, it's always a remedy to the badness. You know, sometimes things happen. I didn't have the lid on it the right way that I wanted to. And good thing I like basil, because that's going to be in there, trust me. And I'm going to take a little bit of smart balance, and I'm going to top it with that. And you can eat it with a spoon like you do a grit. So I'm going to take the smart balance, put a dab of that on top, and let's not forget our cheese. And you got a nice, easy, quick meal. Adding the cheese, because I'm about to get off of here. And here is your polenta with your shrimp, your cheese. We have some broccoli on the back burner. That is your finished product. And that is a good meal. That is wholesome. The cheese will melt. You dig in, you get a little polenta, you get a shrimp, and you get some of that cheese. All right, peace. I'm hopping off of here. God bless. Thanks for stopping in. Don't forget, change is going to happen. And if somebody want to rain on your parade, you tell them if they ain't going to bring an umbrella, don't come raining on your parade. Peace.